Okay, what are the things we are going to discuss in this session? So first we'll have the introduction with the SAP, then how we can make our career with the SAP, streams and a relevant module available in the SAP. Streams, I mean to say, what are the real-time functional areas we have, whether it is a finance or controlling, cost controlling, or sales and distribution, plant maintenance, or procurement. So these are the functional areas, and for each of the functional area, SAP has given us the relevant module. Then companies using this SAP software, what are all those companies? I have just I have taken a list of some of the companies, and then the business partner. What do you mean by the business partner of SAP? Then we have roles and responsibility of consultant as well as end user. So end user a different person. This end user will be from the business side. Business, I mean to say client. So for example, if I'm working for the company, it is Reliance. So for me, Reliance is my client, and we also call them business. I would say like this is something we need to present to the business. Then these end users are also known as a front end user who would be ultimately using the software. And in the back end, we will be working as a consultant who would be doing the configuration, customization, so that whatever their requirement. So for example, they want some screen on the screen, they want the changes to be done, color, font, or they want some fields to be taken on the right side, left side, or they want to get it removed. So all these requirement we should be able to complete as a consultant. Then we have a ASAP methodology. What do you mean by the ASAP methodology? Actually, this methodology is used for the SAP implementation. Whenever we have, let's say, a client, and in that client they are using some other ERP. Let's say that is a Microsoft Dynamic, or there is a BAN, or there is a Oracle ERP they are using. Now they want to switch to the SAP. So for this SAP implementation, what is the roadmap? And that roadmap has been clearly defined and given by the SAP, and that roadmap is also known as ASAP. That is the accelerated SAP methodology. Under that, we have predefined steps, and if we follow those steps during the implementation, so it would be a successful implementation. Then we have the architecture, SAP R3 architecture. What do you understand by the R3 architecture? Actually, what is the landscape we have with this SAP while working for our client? So how many systems will be given? Because we will be working on the different systems. We will be having the quality system, then we will be having the development system, and we will have the production system. In some of the client, we will be also having the training system on which we will be giving the training to the user. And in each of these systems we will have the data. So how we manage the data, we'll see. So first of all, we have the introduction with the SAP. What is the SAP? SAP stands for Systems, Application, and Product for the Data Processing. So this is a company founded by 5 IBM employees, and this company is based out of Germany. It's been into the market since 1972, and its headquarters in Germany. So this is SAP is a leading ERP market. When we are saying that ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. In the simple word, if I describe this ERP, actually, whenever you will be thinking of any of the company, so in those companies will be having the business processes. Now those business processes, they will be executing those business processes in their internal software, whether that is a financial accounting posting, that is the procurement business cycle we are following. Now whatever the software they are using for that business process, so that software we call it as a ERP software. We call it as a ERP software. So if we talk about the ERP in the market, we have so many players who are offering this ERP software or the solution. SAP is one of them, but SAP is leading the ERP market, and it is saying that it is the biggest player covering more than 25 industry-specific business solution and more than 75,000 customer in 120 plus countries. So SAP is a enterprise application software suite used to manage the ERP platform. Then how we can make our career with the SAP? So SAP is a value addition to our career. to anybody's career, and this skill can be learned by any of the professional, fresher or experienced or student. So this SAP training will take 2 to 3 months, but this learning is going to be a continuous process. It is not something that after the training you are done, so you don't need to do the practice. Yes, practice is something which you will be doing throughout. So even if you are 2 year, 5 year or 6 year old, so there are so many things which SAP brings every year. So we need to know those things. We need to, because every time the client is demanding, the client is looking for new technology or new thing which we have in the SAP, so he may demand from you. So at least we should know about it, and that is some that we will be able to know when we will be keep doing the practice, or we should know about the market which new thing has come with respect to the SAP. So that is something we need to I would say keep doing the practice, keep doing the hands-on, because this is something, the software is something, if you will not do the practice, if we are out of touch for, let's say, 2 months, 3 months, so we will be not able to recall 40% of the thing or 50% of the thing. So that is something. Here I'm just going to highlight that we need to also do the practice even after we have completed the training, even after we are not on the job, but still we can do the practice, because when we are on the job, so if client will be asking anything, so we should be prepared to answer that particular question. Then this software helps to increase. Why client will be going for this SAP software? Because SAP is also a costly software. And why companies will be doing the investment in this software? Because it is going to increase the revenue of the company. It is going to reduce the cost of the company by applying the best practices given by the SAP. Then it is saying that if it provides a control over the business processes, it increases the productivity, better inventory management will be able to do. So we have the material, how much material we should order, how much material we should keep in our uh, in our warehouse, how much material is required for the production of any FG finished goods. So that is the decisions or the control will be able to do it with this ERP software. Then it will also improve our quality, effective human resource management. So we also have the employees. We can manage those employees with this SAP software, and it is going to increase the productivity. Then it will also finally, it is when we are just taking the order from the customer, and we are manufacturing that particular goods or services, and finally we are doing the delivery of that particular goods to our customer on time. So ultimately it is going to improve the customer service. So again, that customer is going to give us the order. Then, as I just shared with you, we have multiple functional areas in the real time, and for each of the functional areas, SAP has given us a module. Here I have covered some of the modules because we have so many modules, but I have taken here some of the modules. So these modules are divided into the two parts. One is the functional module, second is the technical module. So in the functional module, we don't require any coding, we don't require any programming skill. Whereas in the technical module, we should have the programming or the coding skill. So here I have just mentioned some of the functional areas, like we have finance as a functional area, purchase as a functional area, sales and distribution as a functional area, cost control as a functional area, production as a functional area, human resources as a functional area. In any of the company, you can see these are the functional areas we have. These are the departments you can see in any of the company. And for each of the stream, for each of the functional area, SAP has given us the module. So for example, for the finance, we have the module called SAP FI, that is the finance. Same way, for the purchase, we have the module called SAP MM, which stands for material management. It will look after all the inventory. Then we have the sales and distribution. So it is and for this we have a module called SAP SD, sales and distribution. Then after that, for the cost controlling, we have SAP CO, that is controlling. For the production department, we have a solution provided by the SAP in the form of SAP module called SAP PP, production planning. Likewise, for the HR, we have SAP HR/HCM, and also nowadays we have the success factor. Then these are the functional module, and I just repeated that these are not the only functional module. We have also plant maintenance, we have also warehouse management, we have also extended warehouse management. So all these modules we have, but as I just said, there are multiple. So I have covered here some of the important module which you can see for any of the client. Minimum these modules you will be able to see. And then for the technical or the programming, we have a module provided by the, because this software is based on a language, this software is based on a code which has already been written by the SAP. Now if you want to make the changes in that code, and why, what is the requirement, why we need to change that code, because this is the, there are two things we have. One is the standard solution and second is the customized solution. So standard solution which we can see, which we can apply, which we can implement in multiple clients. For multiple clients we can give the same solution. So for example, we have a solution of entering the invoice. So entering the invoice means one person would be punching the data or doing the data entry, second would be doing the approval, second is the manager who would be doing the, who would be doing his approval, and that data will be part of the system, or that data will be change your account balance. This is a business process, this is a standard business process we have, which we can replicate in any of the client. But one of the client is saying that no, I don't require this solution, I want something different. In this something different, I want the data entry should be done by the by the user, but it should be approved by five managers, or I would say five supervisors. Then that data would be part of the system. So that is a solution which we can provide under the customized solution. So under the customized solution, what we need to do, whatever the standard code, because it is not meeting the client requirement. So in that code, we need to make the changes. So when the changes are required and when we need to change the program, because every solution which SAP has given us, it is provided, it is at the back end, a program is executed by the system. So we need to make the changes in the program, we need to make the changes in the code, and for that particular requirement, we need to have the ABAPer with us. We have this functional manager or functional consultant. Same way, we need to have the technical consultant, and in the technical consultant team, we have the ABAPer, and this module is called as SAP ABAP. ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming. And then after that, these are the some of the clients, companies I have mentioned where already SAP is being used as a ERP software in India and US. Then we also have the business partner of SAP. Now SAP is saying that I can't cover all the huge clientele. We need to give the solution, and at the same time, this solution is to be done, this implementation is to be done on time. So client will not be waiting for us that okay, we are doing the implementation for one client, so you should wait, the second client would be waiting for us. No. So for that, what business line they have done or they have provided, so they have with them the business partner. Now these business partner like the HCL, TCS, Tech Mahindra, Birla Soft, so whenever any implementation will be done, so that client is going to purchase the license from the SAP. Once this SAP license has been purchased by the client, so now this ERP, this SAP ERP is to be set up in the client side. For that client may contact SAP, or client may also contact any of the SAP business partner. So this business partner could be Deloitte, PwC, and by Accenture, Capgemini. So once, let's say, they have given this project to the Capgemini, so Capgemini will send a team of a consultant, functional, technical, both, and they will have that the team will be headed by the project manager, by the delivery manager, by the delivery head. So that is a team who would be responsible for doing the implementation for that particular client. So that is how this business partner works. Now it is saying that what are the roles and responsibility of end user, front end user, and sometimes we also call it as a super user. So end user is a person from the business side. So he is responsible for the day-to-day business activities. So he is actually restricted to do a particular set of activities. So his role is restricted to perform those activities only, whereas the scope of the consultant activities are more than that. So if he is following one of the or a couple of activities in the finance, a finance consultant is expected to know all the business processes we have, major business processes we have in the real time, and those business processes which would be affecting the finance, which would be affecting the FI. So if I talk about here the end user role, so he is responsible for doing the day-to-day business activities. These business activity are entering the data, posting the data, and these posting could be the document posting, invoice posting. Then it is saying that he is also responsible to maintain the accounts or create the account or any changes if required in these accounts. He would be responsible for doing those changes. Sometimes this data maintenance is done by the consultant. Again, it is subject to the client requirement. If the client is saying that no, my team, my user would be focusing the core activities of the business, their respective activities they should focus on, and all these data entries, or no, not the data entry, all these changes in the data master, this SAP data, if any changes are required, so that should be done by the consultant. So that is also like in some of the project you can also see that this thing is being done by the consultant. But where the client has given the control over the user, so he is confident that these my employees are well versed with the software, my employees understand this how this SAP works, so they can just give the control those users that okay, if any of the changes you want to do in the GL master data, in the supplier master data, in the customer master data, you have been given the authorization, you can make those changes, or you can do that, you can do the creation also. So this is something which is subject to the client requirement. Then creating and tracking of the invoices. So all those invoices which we will be generating out of the procurement to pay cycle, order to cash cycle. So there are the entries which would be affecting the FI. So what are those entries? So that we'll see. Then it is saying that generating the report. So finally they need to generate the report for the internal as well as external reporting. Now we will be discussing about the consultant role. So consultant is also known as a developer. So here it is saying that he is a developer and responsible to meet the requirement of the client. The functional manager, or we are the product manager. So if I need to, let's say if I am a finance head or I am a finance manager, so any SAP FI consultant is coming to me, so I can just I would be expecting that he should be know he should have the clear understanding about the business processes, and not all the business processes but some of the important business processes he should have the clarity. And because after that, if I will be giving I will be giving him any particular requirement that this is the change I want to do in the software, this is the new thing I want to add in the software, so he would be able to understand it. If he will not be having the visibility about the scope of the SAP, how it works and all that, so he will not be able to understand my requirement. So that is the reason, first of all, it is saying that your consultant, your now this consultant could be the FI consultant and any of the functional consultant, he should be able to understand the requirement of the client. So following other roles and responsibility of the consultant. First of all, as a consultant, what we need to do, we need to take the requirement from the client. We need to take the requirement from the client and understand their standard processes. So what are the standard processes? As I just shared with you, we have in a particular company, we have multiple business processes. Now those processes which are finance oriented, so those processes we should know as a FI consultant. Then we will be able to understand their requirement and we will be able to give the solution. Now this depends on us. So now we are giving, if we are giving, let's say based on our knowledge, so if we are giving the standard solution, so if that standard solution is meeting the client requirement, that is good enough. But if that standard solution is not meeting the client requirement, we need to find out the workaround. We need to get the changes in the program or in the code. We need to get those changes done. For that, we need to make the technical guy understand that this is a logic, and based on that logic, you need to get the changes done in the code or in the program, so that ultimately, finally, after the changes, whatever the program we have designed, that should be meeting the client requirement. So this is something which we should know, and then, or which we should also do. Then it is saying that mapping of the client business processes, and we should map it with the standard processes provided by the SAP under the best practices. So SAP has given us the best practices for various business processes. What we need to do? We need to do the mapping of actual business processes coming from the client side, and we need to map it what SAP has given us. If there is any gap, let's say where we are able to map 80% business processes, and these business processes are given by the SAP, and these are matching the client requirement. Now these are the standard solution which I'm saying. Now 20% we have something where we have the gap. So what we will be doing for that, we have the fit and gap analysis. So under that fit and gap analysis, we will be just mentioning that this is the 20% gap we have. These are the processes. For that, client is not agreed with these solution provided by the SAP under the standard solution. For that, we need to go for the customization. We need to go for the user exit, or we need to go for the changes. So if we need to make the changes in the program, so for that we need to write various documents. These documents are the function specification document. We call it as FS document. Same way, the technical guy will be writing a technical specification document. We call it as a TS document. And apart from that, we will be also writing the document related to the business blueprint. Then this business blueprint I will just covering in the next slide. Then we will be accordingly we'll be giving the solution to the client. Now it is saying that when you are done, okay, here you can just see after this mapping of the business processes, we have the business blueprint document. What do you understand by the business blueprint document? So this is the second stage. Actually, first stage is the taking the requirement. Second is the mapping of these actually whatever the business processes we have, and for that client has agreed, and also for the customization client has agreed. So somewhere we need to create a document, and we need to get the document sign off from the client, and it should be signed by the IT team head or project manager, because down the line, if if any changes are coming from the client side, and these changes are with respect to the design of that particular process, so that we can't make the changes. But yes, within that design, if we need to make the changes, we will be able to do. But if the whole design is to be changed, that is something which is I would say out of the scope. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand the scope, and within that scope we are giving the solution to the client, and we will be writing that later on down the line. The client should not be argue that okay, this is something which you agreed, but this has not been delivered. So to have that consent, to have that particular thing in the document, we'll be writing the business blueprint document, and along with we will be writing the functional specification document, technical specification document, and also we will be writing the configuration document, which will guide us, or which will down the line if the consultant has been changed. So the new consultant has come. So by going through that configuration document, he would be able to understand, relate, and if anything is to be done, any change is to be done, anything particular to that process, if it is something is to be delivered, so he would be able to do it. Then it is saying that we will be start doing the configuration after all this documentation. We will start doing the configuration, customization in the system, and we'll be doing the testing. And we will also ask the business to do the testing so that we should be on the same page. There should not be any gap. And after that, we can move that solution to the actual system where which system and that will be used by the business for their day-to-day business activity. So it is saying that the next thing after the configuration is the testing. So here we will be doing the testing as a consultant. We will also ask the business to do the testing, and based on that, if all the things are going well, if all the testing results are positive, then we will be moving that solution to the production system, which is the actual system which is to be used by the business. Then it is saying that if we have, let's say, two systems, we have one development system for the developer and second is the production system which is used by the client. So if the things are going well, very well in the development system, but when we have moved to the production, so it is not going well, it is giving some error, it is giving some down, so it means that it has some inconsistency issue. So there should not be any inconsistency issue. That is the reason we will do the testing in the quality on the development system, and we will be moving the same solution to the production system so that it should behave in the same manner we have seen in the quality or in the development system. So it is saying that consistency of the test result in the quality and the production system should be same. There should be consistency in the test result. It should not be that okay, the result is we are getting the positive result in the quality system, but in the production we are not getting the same result. So there should be consistency. Now here we have the ASAP methodology. As I just shared with you, for the implementation of this SAP software in any of the client, SAP has given us the roadmap, and this roadmap we call it as a ASAP methodology. ASAP methodology, A stand for accelerated SAP methodology. Under that we have been given these steps. So first we'll go with the first step, which is the project preparation. Here we will be deciding the scope of the work. What are the functional areas we will be covering, and within those functional area what are the business processes we will be covering. So this we will be writing, this we will be understanding under the first step, which is the project preparation. Then we will be writing the those processes, and for that what we are giving as a consultant, what solution we are giving, standard or customization, this we will be writing, and those documents we will be getting signed off by the IT head and by the client. And the stage is called business blueprint document. So under this business blueprint document, what we have, so we work on a approach, and that approach is as is and to be approach. What is as is and to be approach? So for example, in the current business process, we have 5 steps to complete any particular business activity. We have 5 steps to get any particular business or finance activity done, completed. But in the SAP, for the same business process, we need to do 6 steps. We need to do 6 steps. So there is a variation between as is and to be. So what we will be offering to the client, and it could also be like different, it could be other way around. So we have actually business process which they are following, client is following in the real time, it is as is, it is, these are 5 steps. But which solution we are giving, so that solution, under that solution, client needs to use or the user needs to do only 3 steps. So we have the variation, so that as is and to be, what currently business process we have, and after user would be using that the same process in the SAP system, what is the different thing, what client is expecting us to deliver, so that is part of the to be. So this thing we will be writing in the document, we will be, as I just shared with you, we will be getting it signed off, so that there should not be any gap, there should not be any confusion, doubt from the client or from the IT team. Then after doing all this documentation, we will start working on the software. So that stage is called, or that step is called realization. Under this realization, we will be working on the actual system for the configuration, we will be doing the testing, And after that we will be going to the next level where we will be uploading the data. The data could be your legacy data. Also under the final project preparation, whatever we have done till the realization phase, we will be moving the data to the system. And under the final project preparation, what we'll be doing, so here we will have the legacy data. That legacy data we will be having the balances, we will be having the document numbers, we will be having the line item is nothing but your invoice detail. So all this that legacy data, old data, we will be uploading in the SAP system. For that we have been given various solutions. We have the LSMW, we have the BAPI, we have various solution has been given. So through that, those cutover activities we will be completing. Done the testing and testing is going well. Whatever those testing results, so those testing results have been approved by the business, and business has also done the testing. So after that, what we will be doing, we will have the next stage, the final stage, that is the go live stage. So under the go live stage, business will start working on the SAP environment. If they used to work on any of the previous software, that is the QuickBooks, or that is the Microsoft Dynamic or BAN or any of the software, now they have moved to the SAP. So now that SAP environment, they will be able to follow their business processes. First of all, whenever there would be any go live, so we prefer to have that go live on the first day of next year. So for example, in India, we following the April to March. So we prefer the client that, okay, we will be doing this go live on 1st of April. So that whatever the balances we have as on 30th, 31st of March, so we will be taking all those balances and we will be like migrating those balances to the SAP system.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So then once we have done this go live, and after that maybe there are some issue with respect to the data, like just Raj said that there are some data which is not part of your SAP system. So for that we have the hypercare. This hypercare, we will be like, it is just kind of support. So this is a hypercare support. We will be doing 24/7 for our client for whom we have done this implementation. And under this hypercare, whatever the issues client is facing while performing any of the business process, while executing any of the business transaction, so we will be giving the quick solution for that. We will be fixing those issue, and we will be providing the solution under the hypercare support. So this hypercare support is going to be for the next 3 months, and after that we will have the normal support. Again, it is subject to the client requirement or agreement that we are going to take the support from the same company who has provided us the implementation, or we'll have some different company. So most of the time I have seen that 99% who have done the implementation, who have done the company who has done the implementation, client goes with the same company at least for 1 year or 2 years. And after that, based on maybe there are some costing due to that, if they want to switch to some other company, so they can continue their support, but they can change their IT partner. So for example, as of now they were taking the support of the Accenture, but after 2 years they want, now the support is like they want to take the same support from some different IT company, maybe due to the cost issue or due to the some other issue. Okay. So these are the thing we have. Now we need to understand the SAP R3 architecture. What is the landscape we have in the SAP system? As a consultant, actually, we need to work on various system, various clients. So what do you understand by this R3? R stands for real time, T stands for 3 tier. So now from the business side, we will be having the business application manager, and this business application manager would be your IT head. So who would be approving all your developments and moving it to the production system. So he would be approving it, and under that we may have the subject matter expert, and sometime consultant are also known as subject matter expert, SMEs. Then below that we will be having, actually this under this business application manager, we'll be having the product manager. We'll be having the product manager or the functional manager. So for example, this business manager is having a team of functional manager. So under that he has a team. Under that we have a functional team, and we have the finance manager, we have procurement manager, we have sales manager, and these managers are also well versed with the SAP software, and they will be giving the requirement to the client. Sorry, they will be giving the requirement to the consultant, and they will make him understand, they will make the consultant understand if they want to get anything roll out in the, or they are expecting something to be done in the SAP system apart from the normal process we have. So for example, if we have a current process in that they want to make some changes, so they will just giving that requirement, functional manager or the product manager. Then we also have the super users who would be doing a particular activity, and also we have the end user. So the super user, again, they will have the good knowledge about the SAP system as far as their functional areas are concerned. So we also have the super user from the account payable side within the finance, receivable side within the finance, asset manager within the finance. So these are the different areas where we'll be having the super users, and below that we will be having the end users. So it is saying that under this R3 system, we will have three systems. One is your development, second is your quality, and third is your production. So we call it as a development client, quality client, and production client. Under the development system, it is also known as config system, configuration system, or it is also known as golden client. Why it is known as golden client? Because here the consultant will be having the access to do the configuration customization, and after that he would be also able to do he will be able to do, or he will be able to test his configuration customization. And during the testing, if he has not come across any issue, so that testing has gone well, so he can share that, okay, this business process I have configured in the system, and I have done the testing and I have not come across any issue. So he can ask the business to do the testing. Now since the business will not have the access for this development system, end user will not have the access for this development system, on which system they would be able to do the testing? So they will have the quality system. Quality system is a system which will be used by both, by consultant as well as by the end user. But the difference between the quality system and the development system is this quality system would be in a display mode. We can't able to make any changes, but yes, we will have the data, and that data we will, as a business user, we will be testing, and also as a consultant we can do the testing. So the test activities are performed on this quality system. So it's just a copy of your production system. Production system means actual system. We'll have the sufficient data available in the quality system, so that we will be able to carry out our testing activities. Now we will have the third system, that is the production system, which is the actual real-time system which is being used by the business, and it is the balances are getting updated or replicated in the real time. Real time, I mean to say, this is being used by the business. So whenever they are doing any posting, they are doing any activity, if those GLs are getting increase or balances are getting increase or decrease, so that is a real time data. Okay, so this R3 architecture, this ASAP methodology, so these things are clear to you?
Yeah, Jitesh.
Sai, Kirtan, these things are clear to you?
Yes, yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay, okay, fine. Now we can come to the FI part. Actually, that was a overview of overview of SAP. Now we will be covering the FI part, and within the FI, what we have? So we have the components, and what are the important components or the main component we follow in the SAP FI module? We have the general ledger accounting, We have the account payable accounting, we have the account receivable accounting, bank accounting, and asset accounting. And for each of these component, what type of information we can process, that we'll see. First, we have the general ledger accounting or the GL accounting. In the simple words, GL means accounts. So we will be setting up various types of account under this component, and these accounts could be your income accounts, your expense accounts, liability accounts, and asset accounts. So what we will be doing here, actually we will be setting up those accounts, we will be doing the posting for those accounts, and what system will be letting us know? System will be letting us know the balances, and we will be able to pull out the report from these this component, and this report can be presented to the management, to the external resources we can share like the bank, government we have. So this is something which will let us know the financial position of the company. So it is saying that this GL accounting record all your business transactions posted in the SAP system. It will display the real-time status of your financial accounts of the organization or the company. Master data here again it means account. So we'll be setting up the account for incomes, expense, liability, and balance and assets. So income and expense are covered under the profit and loss, whereas liability and assets are covered under the balance sheet. So in the simple words, this GL accounting is going to help us to make the profit and loss and balance sheet, because within that we have those component which will help us to know, or which will help us to give us the figures required to know the financial position of the company. Then it is saying that transaction we can process in this GL accounting, and those transactions we can post directly, and those transactions within those transactions in the FI can also come automatically through the integration. Those transactions will get triggered, get generated into the FI. We have various business processes, like we have procurement to pay, we have order to cash. What is the procurement to pay? Procurement to pay means we have placed the order and we are procuring the goods from the vendor, and finally we need to receive the goods, we need to invoice them, and we need to pay them. So that is the process we have procurement to pay. On the other hand, we have order to cash, where this is something we have for our customer who would be placing the order to with the sales department, with the sales team. So they will be getting the sales order, and for that sales order we need to get the production done, make that finished goods available, and after that we will be having the delivery, we will be doing the post good issue, finally we will be doing the billing. So that billing is related to the FI, and that entry will get take place automatically in the system as and when the sales department will be doing the billing. So it is saying that we have the entries which will get generated automatically into the finance, and apart from that we can also post the entry directly into the FI. Then after that, since we have made all the posting done through automatically and directly within the finance, we have made those entries. So now we have the sufficient data. We need to reconcile the data. We need to do the account analysis. So in the month end, we need to carry out some of the month end activities, and these are known as periodic activities. So under the periodic activities, under the month end activities in the GL, we can go for the interest posting, we can go for the recurring run, and finally once we have the data maintained in the system, we will be pulling out these data in the form of reports, which we can present to the shareholder, to the senior management for the decision making. Then we have the next component, that is the account payable component. So this account payable component is also known as subledger. Subledger means this is a subdivision of your main ledger. So this is going to report your GL. Whatever the transaction you will be posting in the subledger, so that will exist in the subledger, as well as it will also update your GL, which is the previous one, this one. So this is linked to your AP. So whatever the posting you will be doing in the AP, so that will update your AP balance as well as your GL balance, because both are interconnected. So it is saying that account payable is known as Payable accounting is known as subledger accounting that record all your business transaction for your vendor or supplier for the purchase activity, procurement activities, and generate the automatic posting in the GL. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So I was just sharing with you this account payable accounting. So it is linked with your GL. Whatever the posting, which basically it is used for your vendor or supplier, will be having end-to-end information for the vendor and supplier and their business activities, like their transaction, we will be recording under this account payable accounting. If you want to know the balance for your vendor, if you want to know total amount to be paid to all your vendor, so that balance, that information we will be able to pull out through this account payable accounting. And also before we go for the business transaction with the vendor, what we need to do, we need to set up their account. For example, you have opened an account with the bank. So your account in the books of bank is called customer master data. Okay. So likewise, what we will be doing, so the vendors who would be dealing with us, so what we will be doing, we will be maintaining the data, will be maintaining their name, address, email ID, contact details. Then we will be also adding their bank detail because we need to do the payment to them. and and also if we will be doing the payment to them, so we need to have their bank details as well. We will be like maintaining the system, their bank account, their IFSC code, their ABA routing number, their big number, Swift code number. So that is the information we will be maintaining in the system. How we are going to pay, like we will be paying to them, if we will be paying through the check payment, if we'll be doing the payment through the wire, if we will be doing the payment to some other mode. So all these instructions we will be maintaining in the master data, means in the vendor account. So it is saying that in the account payable accounting, we will be creating the master data. Master data is nothing. You will be setting up your vendor account or supplier account. Then actually it is to be initiated by the purchase department, but also we have our part, finance part, where we'll be maintaining information like the payment method, terms of payment, we'll be having the reconciliation account field. So these are the fields which are to be taken care of by the FI consultant. So over there we will be giving our input. Then after this setting of the account, we will be processing the transaction for our vendor. We will be doing the purchase invoice. We will be having the purchase return invoice. We will be doing the payment to them. Now for that payment, SAP has given us both the solution. So we can do the manual payment to them. We can also get the payment done through the automatic mode. And through that, we have been given the automatic payment program. What is that APP? We'll see later. Then after that, we have done the purchase, we have made the payment. Now we need to do the reconciliation. So for example, we have made a purchase of 100, but we have done the payment to that vendor, it is 70. So 30 is pending. So that is something which is to be done by the business, and it is known as a reconciliation account analysis. And after that, we will be doing the month end job. Under the month end job, we will be having the month end activities where we need to do the foreign currency valuation for our vendor. So we will be having those vendors who are out of our country, and from them we have made the procurement, we have done the purchase. Now that purchase we have made in the foreign currency, so now we need to do the payment to those vendor in the foreign currency only. Now whenever we have made the purchase and after that we have a gap when we have made the payment, so obviously because the purchase date and the payment date both are different, and you know that the exchange rate, it gets changed every day, and due to that we may be getting the loss or gain. So that loss or gain we will be reporting under the foreign currency valuation part. And finally, we will be pulling out all our AP data, all the data which is hitting our vendor through the reports. So finally, we'll be having the reports. Then we'll be having the same activities for our customer, but these activities are to be done under the account receivable accounting. So here we will be having the account receivable accounting. Again, it is a sub ledger. It is a subdivision of your GL. Whatever the posting you will be doing in the AR, so that data exists in the AR, but also it will update your GL. So it is saying that here will be like you have maintained your vendor master data. Here will be setting up the customer master data to whom we will be selling the goods or services. So we'll be having the sales invoice. We'll be doing the sales return. We'll be also posting the sales return invoice, and also we will be receiving the payment. So for the vendor, we have the outgoing payment. For the customer, we have the incoming payment. So again, for this incoming payment, SAP has given both the solution. We can accept the payment, we can process that incoming payment manually and automatically. So for the automatically, SAP has given us a solution called SAP Lockbox. So under this program, we can process the incoming payment automatically. So since we have now the sales invoice, we have now the payment with us. So we need to do the reconciliation and account analysis, and also like you have the periodic activity for your vendor in the month end where you will be executing the foreign currency valuation for your vendor. Same way, we can also made the sales in the foreign currency, and the payment we are getting from the customer in the foreign currency, and the day we have sold the product, the day we have received the payment. So on these dates, the due to the foreign currency fluctuation, we may be getting the loss or gain. We need to get it booked, and for that we will be executing this activity in the month end, and after that we will be pulling out all the report related to our customer and their account balances. Then we have the bank accounting. In the bank accounting, what we will be doing, we will be setting up the bank. Actually, we will be having the incoming payments and we will be also having the outgoing payment, but both of these payments are to be processed by the bank. And what we will be doing, actually we will be setting up the bank in the SAP software, as well as we have the bank account in the actual bank. So what we will be doing through this SAP component, we will make sure we will reconcile, so that whatever the balance we have in the bank account, in the bank, the account we have maintained, it has, let's say, $100. So the same $100 should be in our SAP system. If there is any gap, so that gap will be able to remove through this electronic bank statement or the reconciliation, and that activity we can perform. And in this activity, what a bank will be doing, bank will be sending you a statement in the physical or in a electronic form. In the most of the time we get it in electronic form, and whatever the incoming and outgoing payment bank has processed, we will be uploading that file into our SAP system, and whatever the line item, whatever the transactions, so it is going to reconcile, and it will also align the balance, and that balance will be matching the balance we have in the bank statement. So that is a thing we will be doing under the bank accounting. And under the bank accounting, we will be also setting up the logbox where we'll be accepting the incoming payment from the customer automatically. So for that logbox also, bank will be sending us the logbox file. We'll process that file, and it will let us know that okay, these many customer have made the payment. Then finally, we will be having the asset accounting, where whatever the fixed asset of the company we have, so what we need to do, we need to have their actual balance. And how that actual balance we will be having, we will be posting the depreciation. So the calculation of the depreciation and posting of depreciation for our fixed asset, so that is something which is important in the asset accounting. So in the asset accounting, we will see how we can create the asset, how we can procure the asset. Procure the asset means how we can purchase the asset. Then on that asset, if I need to calculate the depreciation, how we can go for the calculation of the depreciation, we can do the posting of depreciation. And after the depreciation, what is the actual balance system is just showing you for your asset in the balance sheet. So that is what we can also see. And apart from this, this purchase and posting of depreciation, if I need to sell my asset, and for that sale, what are the accounting entry we have in the SAP system, and how system is going to drive automatically loss or gain on that sale. So that is something we'll see in the asset accounting. And also, if we need to transfer the asset, we need to transfer the value of one asset. Let's say we have two furniture. One furniture is having the value $100, second is having the value $50. So what I want, so the asset which has the $50 value, I want to transfer that value to the 100 value asset. So that is a transfer of value. We can do it for our assets that we see. Then we can also have the scrapping of asset. If I want to write off our asset or scrap the asset, so that particular thing we can do under the asset accounting. So this is something we'll have for the finance part. We will also have the controlling, but controlling we will see the overview of the controlling I will give you, where we'll be covering the cost element accounting, cost center accounting. Like we have the component in the FI, same way we have the component in the controlling. So FI is something, FI is related to the financial accounting. Financial accounting is for the external reporting. Whereas we have controlling. Controlling is related to the cost accounting, and basically it relates with the internal reporting. Internal reporting to whom? Internal reporting to the senior management, so that they can make the decision. They can make the decision on the inefficiencies. They can make the decision that okay, this product should go, or we should stop this product, we should stop the production. So all these decisions they will be able to take if they will have the sufficient data, and that will be provided by the controlling component. So within the controlling, we have the component as a cost center accounting, profit center accounting. We have the order accounting, product costing, and COPA, that is the profitability analysis or cost-based profitability analysis. So these are the areas of the component we have. Okay, so that is the part of the like thing we will have, and also I'll let you know what we are going to do and how we'll be doing this training. So I have already shared with you this FI folder. In this FI folder, you can just see you have the subfolder, and for each of the folder, you will be finding a practice sheet. So first, I will let you know how to do the practice, how to do the configuration. After the configuration, how you need to do the testing. So based on that, what you will be doing offline, you will be doing the configuration, and also you will be doing the testing. If any error will come, so how, why that error has come, so that you can just see the reason and how to fix it. So this we'll see. And before we go to any of the component we have discussed, so we'll have a organizational structure. So under this organizational structure, what areas we cover? So here, actually organizational structure is something which is going to impact all the functional areas. So these functional area could be your finance, controlling, SD, MM, sales or procurement, plant maintenance, or some other functional areas we have. So if it is going to cover all, so that particular structure is known as enterprise structure or organizational structure. So under this organizational structure, actually this is something to be done by the FI consultant only. So under the organizational structure, what are the objects which we need to know? What are the objects we need to set up in the system, that we'll see. So here you can just see we have a practice sheet. So for, as I just shared with you, for each of the folder you will find a practice sheet. So this is the practice sheet we have for the basic setting before we go to the general ledger accounting. So under this basic setting, what is, first of all, I'll just make you understand what is the company, what is the company code, what is the scope of the company, what is the use of the company code, what is the chart of account, or the posting period variant, or the field status variant. So these are the objects we have, and what we call it in the SAP terminology, what we call it in the business like in the business terminology, and how it is to be done, how it is to be configured in the system, so that I'll let you know. And here we have the system. So here I'll just also walk you through the system. This is the SAP logon, and this SAP logon you can also have on your desktop. For that, I have also sent a mail with the name GUI. So GUI is nothing but the graphical user interface. So this what you will have this type of logon pad. So how you will be able to like set up it? So first of all, that there is a that file, that link which I have shared with you. Through that link, you will be able to download a zip file. Will have this kind of folder you will have. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to go to this PERS1, and after that you need to go to this GUI. So you go to this GUI. After that you need to go to the Windows. If you have the Windows, then that is a link for you, but if you have the Mac, so you just let me know. Accordingly, I will just share with you the link, but this is for the Windows operating system. So go to the Windows 32. After that, you can see here we have a here we have a executive file. Okay, here you can just see we have one file with the name SAP GU setup file. This is the setup file you need to execute, and it will take, I think, 5 to 10 minutes to get it set up. And after that, this is the SAP GUI setup. If you just double click on this, automatically it will work like we have the Office software, MS Office software. So after that, it will get set up. You will be able to see this type of SAP logon pad on your desktop. And after that, you need to double click. It will be blank. It will be blank. Like here, you can just see some information is there, but in your case, it will be blank. What you need to do, you need to click on this new entry data, new file, and then you can just click on this next button. Click on this next button. By default, system will just give you this user specified system. Click on the next entry button. Here you need to give the description. I'll share with you what you need to write it here in the description: server, application, instance, system ID. So this is the information I'll just share with you, and after that you can just see it will just give you this finish button. It will get enabled, and after that you will be able to see this type of link. Okay, so now you can just double click on this, and for that you need to have the user ID password. So here you can just see this is the IDOC system which is used for the training and which is used for the education purpose. And here we have the enhancement package. It is EHP7. So here we have the client 800, and we can go for the user ID and password. After this, it will take us to the system. So we have here two types of screen. One screen we can do the testing as a user, or this is a screen to be used by the business for their day-to-day business activities. Second screen we can have for the configuration. As a consultant, we can do the configuration. So for example, here if we have the business user, I need to do the posting. I can go to this accounting, financial accounting, general ledger accounting, document entry, and here this is how I can navigate. So if I double click on this, it will give me the screen. So, and through that we will be able to do the posting. So let's say here if I double click, so this is a screen system will give me, and here I will be able to do the posting as a user. And if I need to do any testing also, I can do in the same fashion. And if I don't know that I don't know the path, or it is taking time to navigate this like this screen. So simply we can also use a transaction code. You can see here we have the command field. This is called command field. I'll also let you know tomorrow what are all these fields and buttons. So this is the command field. If you just write it here FB50, if you know the transaction code, you can just see for each of the activity SAP has given you the transaction code. So for example, if I want to execute this transaction code FB50, it will directly take me to the screen where I will be able to do the posting. So quickly I'll just make one entry for my existing company. Here I need to enter a date. I have set up this company for the country Canada, and here we have the currency and CAD. Here I am going to post the expense account. This is debit and this is credit. This is the amount we have. Let's say it is 77777777. So that is the amount I'm taking, and now I need to do the posting. Since it is a testing software, so maybe somebody would have made some changes here. We can go to the yes, once again I try to do the posting. Double seven double seven and double seven double seven. Now here we can just see that. Now we can go and save the posting if you want to check it anything. So this is how a normal document gets posted, and we can display this document. System has given you the document number. This is in the currency USD, and here we have some other currencies also, like we have this as a local currency. We have the other currency also, like the group currency we can maintain as a euro. Then we can maintain the other currency like the hard currency we can maintain in USD. And this is something we need to do in the backend. So how we can have that backend screen? We need to enter here SPRO, which will allow us to work as a consultant and do the configuration. And this is the IMG screen. IMG means implementation guide. So now I need to go to the area relevant for us. For example, here we have the finance. So we can go to financial accounting. Within the financial accounting, so we have some settings maintained at a global level. That is the financial accounting global setting, like the ledger we set up. We maintain the document type for the ledger, and after that we have the accounting principle. We have the various accounting standard that we can set up at this level. Then after that we have the component, the general ledger accounting. Then we have the account payable and receivable accounting, bank accounting, and asset accounting. Anything you want to do it under the asset accounting, so drill down here, you will be able to do your configuration. And if this configuration is working or not, so for that you need to do the testing. And again for that you need to go to the SPRO previous screen, which is the SAP Easy Access screen. So that is a quick overview about the navigation. Tomorrow I'll have a detailed navigation detail like with you. So what are all these buttons, with that what we can do. Okay, so this is for today's session. So if you have anything, just let me know.
Hello friends, thank you for watching and subscribing my channel. You can now join our new membership program where you can watch all the SAP FICO videos without any ad or distraction. These videos have step-by-step configuration and end-user activities, and these videos will give you the information from the basic to advanced level. So you need to click on this join button and it will ask you for a monthly fees. After that, it will take you to the membership videos. You will get around 40 videos. It starts with the SAP overview. Then we will cover SAP organizational structure under the basic setting. After that, you will find the videos related to the general ledger accounting, then account payable accounting. In the account payable accounting, we will have the vendor creation, invoice posting, automatic payment program, manual payment to the vendor. After that, we will have the foreign currency valuation run. So how we can do the configuration and we can carry out this foreign currency valuation run on a monthly basis. And what are the accounting entry which system generates foreign currency valuation run. Then for the automatic print program, how we can make a use of this IDOC, how this IDOC gets generated, what are the segments we have, what are the structure of this IDOC. Then also we will find out how we can configure and generate the DME output. For those payment we create through the automatic payment program. Then we have the account receivable accounting, and we have the electronic bank statement. So how we can configure the EBS, and what are the search string, how we can make a use of search string. After that we have a configuration of Lockbox, how we can use it. Then we cover asset accounting. After the asset accounting, we have the integration of FI with the MM, then integration of FI with the SD. In these integration, we will cover procurement to pay and order to cash cycles. Then we have the CO part. Under that, we will have the high level understanding of the CO controlling, where we will be setting up the controlling area, how we can create the cost center, profit center, how we can create the internal order. In the internal order, how we can create the allocation structure, settlement profile, and we do the monthly settlement for all these internal order. And after that, we have the document splitting. We have a video on the June general ledger accounting, classic accounting. In this video, I have also covered the tables related to the configuration data, master data, and transaction data. Then as a FICO consultant, how we can create a transport request, how we can move it from the development to quality client and quality to production. In the real time, how we can get the tickets, how we manage them. Then how a background job can be scheduled for the different activities to get those activities done automatically. Then you will also find a couple of videos related to the FICO real-time interviews. So these are the videos you will get under the membership program. And on a monthly basis, I will also keep adding the new videos, like videos related to SAP S4 HANA, related to the product costing, integration of FI and PS, project system, where we will find out how we can create the project, and under that how we can create the WBS element, how a WBS element can be settled. These videos will helpful to both who are new to the SAP and who are already working as a SAP FICO consultant. So keep watching this video, and I'm sure it is going to give you the value addition. Thank you and all the best.